RTX 3060 12GB versus 2026. Let's go. Let's pair it with a realistic processor, Ryzen 7600, 32GB of expensive DDR5 RAM. We're gonna run it in a lot of games. These are the drivers. These are the specs. Wait. Aren't you going to tell us about that cab? What is that cab, bro? It looks unusual. Oh, right. This is the Iboman RTX 3060, which we got from AliExpress. So if you want some deals, head over to AliExpress, which is the sponsor of this video. It's got a lot of deals here. I've got some coupon codes here. If you can't memorize the coupon codes, just click the link and it'll take you to the page. Okay, that's the Iboman RTX 3060. Can we go now? Oh, yeah. I'm happy. Oh, don't forget GPU Z. Show that one there and the drivers, okay? Okay, GPU Z and drivers over here. Okay, let's start with Esperanza. Esperanza? That's Arc Raiders. Yeah, I know. Let's just start with a game in the damn battlegrounds. Arc Raiders. If you haven't played this game, I suggest you buy it now while it's still on sale. Maybe. Anyway, with our RTX 3060 and Arc Raiders, this is 1080p native. Low settings, obviously, because you want to see all these enemies, bro. You're getting really good FPS, 130 FPS. How I do play with this game is I've got a 4K monitor, and I try just playing 4K with the LSS performance setting. And look at this one. It's not actually bad. I'm getting about 75 FPS in the damn battlegrounds. Yes, it's not bitter. However, this is a slower paced game, so you can probably get away. We'll have to test this later on. 1080p against 1440p and 4K. Let's do some scaling on this one, because at least you'll be able to figure out if what's the sweet spot for you. Speaking of popular motor games, let's go with Battlefield 6. Yes, it's lost its player base, 85% according to the news. However, in here, boys, we're getting decent FPS. Yes, it's not like over 144, but you're getting about 100 FPS with our RTX 3060. We have maxed out our GPU here, right? You've got 97% usage in here. You're getting 100 FPS. This is breakthrough. So there's a lot of people coming in through this one. We're fine, right? Obviously not groundbreaking, but it is good enough. While we're into these shooting games, let's check out Call of Duty Warzone. Yes, Call of Duty Warzone. So we're getting roughly 80 FPS, maybe even lesser, right? Around 80, 70 FPS. It even drops to about 69 FPS in here. The lows are about 68. And we have fully pushed the RTX 3060 here. It's definitely not the best experience, but it's playable, okay? At 1080p native, it's playable. Now, while we're into our shooting games, we might as well hit Delta Force. And in here, Delta Force, we have fully utilized RTX 3060. Look at that one, boys. 100% GPU utilization. And we're getting about 120 FPS. Look at that one, right? Although the average is about like 140 and the lows are 100, it's actually decent, like good enough. At least it's able to actually get higher FPS compared to Warzone. Okay, another shooting game is Arena Breakout Infinite. Yes, this is an extraction shooter. It's actually not bad, right? We're getting about 130 FPS in here. The lows are quite okay, 87 FPS on the lows. Yes, and you can see in here, boys, we can hit our shots in here like we fragged that guy. Just don't do it, bro. Just don't do it, okay? Hey, brother, can we just switch back to, like, single-player games? Because you've had all these shooters, man. Oh, sorry about that. I got carried away. Okay, let's try CyberPunk 2077. And in here, boys, we're getting about 60 FPS. This is 1080p Ultra. So we'll try the scaling later on, but just with 1080p Ultra, you're getting roughly about 60 FPS. So it's not really high, but it's good enough for single-player games. Let's try Oblivion Remastered. And in this game, we're getting about 70 FPS. Yes, there are still stutters in this game. Yes, obviously. It's Oblivion Remastered. However, when we go through the dungeons, this is where you get like really good experience, right? And Oblivion, look at that one. It's so smooth. The frame times is really smooth. And we're getting about over 100 FPS. Let's now move on to our competitive games. And we have here Fortnite Performance Mode, which is now DX12. And in here, boys, we're getting 300 FPS, right? Look at those average FPS. It's really good. The lows are not bad as well, 170 FPS. Yes, we're not fully utilizing our GPU in here, which is expected because we're in performance mode. However, in the build fights, yes, I suck at the build fights, okay? But it is a decent experience with our RTX 3060 12GB. Let's go with another shooter, PUBG. And in here, we've utilized it. We've used a lot of our GPU. We've got about like 90%, over 90% utilization with our GPU, and we're getting about 200 FPS, 1% 1% lows is about 144. Decent experience, good enough, right? So if you're playing PUBG, the RTX 3060 should be good enough for you. We'll see later on when we go up to 1440p how much of an effect it would be in terms of your performance scaling. Let's move on to hero shooters. We'll start off with Apex Legends, which is a competitive hero shooter. And in here, boys, you're getting really good FPS. Look at that one, right? We've touched the max FPS. This is at 1080p, right? The lows are actually not bad, 198. And even with a lot of effects in here, we haven't fully utilized our GPU. Well, the awesome instances wherein we utilize our GPU, but in this case, it's actually quite good. It's just a decent experience. Another hero shooter is Marvel Rivals, and this one, boys, is a bit demanding. And you can see that our FPS is like less than 100 in here. Like the lows are like 81. However, you can still hit those shots. You can, yeah, it's good enough. It's not amazing, but it's good enough. At least you've got like close to 100 FPS in here, and I'm just chilling in here shooting these guys out. Whoa, brother, look at the memory utilization in this game. 24 gigabyte. Dang, that sounds expensive, bro. Oh, right, you're not joking, man. That is indeed a lot of RAM utilized. And our next game is Mecha Break. This is technically a hero shooter, but with robots. Oh, don't forget, it has the babes, bro. That's the one. That's the one. Yeah. Oh, yes. Has that one too. Mecha Break, it's a fast-paced robot game. There is like an extraction shooter element in here, but we're playing the PvP, like 5 versus 5 PvP. And in this one, there's a lot of chaos in here. We're bringing the Alisna's Mecha, and we're getting about 100 FPS with a lot of effects here. There are some micro status in there, however, it's still okay, right? I can still hit my shots in here. Let's now move on to our PvE games, and first up is Helldivers 2. And this is Super Helldive difficulty, so level 10 difficulty with a lot of bugs, and this is on low settings. Although we did put up the textures to ultra with this one, that even with ultra, we're only utilizing about 4.6 gigabyte on the VRAM. There's a lot of effects in here. There's a lot of action in here. We're getting only like 100 FPS, maybe less than that. It's not amazing. It's just good. It's a PvE game, so you don't need to be that serious. Let's move on to Path of Exile 2. And in here, boys, there's a lot of chaos in here. We have fully utilized our RTX 3060 12 gigabyte in terms of utilization. And this game, besides GPU demanding, is also CPU demanding. And you can see that it's like 92% utilization with our Ryzen 7600. So that's why we're getting those like erratic frame times in there, but yeah, you're getting about 90 FPS in here. There's a lot of effects with our ice pills in here. Lows are about 68, which is fine. We did have DLSS in here, but we are only using DLAA, so it's only for anti-aliasing. Okay, let's do some scaling test in here, and this is CyberPunk 2077. We got ultra on both resolutions here, 1080p and 1440p with DLSS quality upscaling, and you can see we're losing a little bit of performance here when we go up to 1440p. In terms of VRAM, there's not much difference in here, obviously, because the 1440p is upscale. Okay, when we move on to the Oblivion Remastered, now we do have like DLSS quality upscaling on both settings here, 1080p and 1440p, but you would notice that the 1440p does have a lot of stuttering compared to the 1080p. Yes, there are stutters in both of these like resolutions, but you would get those stutters and micro stutters more with the 1440p. VRAM utilization, you're using about like 7.6 gigabyte of VRAM with 1440p with DLSS. Okay, let's move on to like those competitive shooters. Like I'm looking in at PUBG in here because you would benefit with resolution in PUBG. And look at that one, right? You're getting about 30% less FPS and about like 36% lower on the low. However, I think 1440p is viable for PUBG with our RTX 3060 as long as you get on those like competitive settings. On the mortar benchmark, it does like tighten up a little bit. You're only going to lose about like 27% performance with the 1440p, so it's not bad. Let's have a look at arc radius. So in here, boys, we have 1080p at native and with 1440p with DLSS quality, and when you upscale, you're going to lose about like 25% and about 18% on the lows. 1440p with DLSS quality is viable. Yep, you're getting about 140 FPS on the 1080p. When you go to 1440p with upscaling, it's only 108. However, However, this is a slower paced game, so you should be able to get away with this one. As I've said, when you look at the 4K, we have DLSS performance on our 4K, which loses about like 48% of performance compared to 1080p native. This is the one I'm playing Arc Raiders with on 4K because it's a slower paced game. I can get away with those frame rates. So yeah, it's not actually that bad. The RTX 3060 12GB is definitely still a good option for 1080p gaming in 2026. I mean, yeah, we were able to play those games, albeit it's not really high frame rates. It's good enough, right? I mean, like, that's probably why Nvidia has now decided to make more RTX 3060 8GB. But yes, I think it is still a decent card, and I think it's still a good option for people who are into like budget gaming and are wanting to have that like 12GB VRAM buffer. If you're thinking of adding like a little bit of extra and going for like 16GB, I did a video like a few months back with the RTX 3060 against the RX 9060 XT 16GB. So if you want to check that one out, I'll link it here. Okay, I'll see you boys next time.